Good afternoon, everybody. How are you getting on? And welcome back to the Traction channel for another Traction live stream. Once again, I'm on iRacing. I was on iRacing last week, along with Le Mans Ultimate, and I tried to do the Indy 500 on iRacing as well recently, but it only lasted less than a full lap, as you may have seen. So I thought it would only be fair to do a little bit more iRacing and give it a proper go, do a full stream dedicated to iRacing that doesn't either end on lap 1 or also involve comparisons with another game, because it's been a long time since I've just sat down and enjoyed some iRacing. And I thought, well, it's British Grand Prix weekend. It's one of the best weekends of the year every year, basically, because there's also Wimbledon on, there's lots of great sport on, and the weather's usually quite nice. So I thought, you know, why not try some single-seater racing around Silverstone, because that's what we were offered up. So, as you can see, or as you can't see yet, but you will be able to see in a second, I am racing the Super Formula cars. I don't know if anyone's on track right now, to be fair, but I will be in a second. I'm going to race Super Formula cars around Silverstone because that's the event that was on. I've actually been wanting to race Super Formula cars now for a long time on iRacing, but I finally bit the bullet, decided to buy the car yesterday so I could do this race today on stream for a bit of fun. I'm going to start off with a fixed setup race first, which starts in about 15 minutes, and it's a bit of a shorter one. That'll get me my first racing action, and then maybe once that race finishes, there will be an open setup race ready to go, which I can jump into, and I hear there may be rain showers for, so that should be interesting. Hey Lewis, how's it going? I much appreciate the comment, that's very kind of you, and welcome to the stream. Good to have you joining us live for the first time. And hopefully you're up for some fun single-seater racing around Silverstone. So what I'm thinking of doing is just jumping in the car right now. And let's just do a few laps to get up to speed. Now I've done about 6 laps so far, so I kind of have a very small idea of how this car feels. And as you can see, my optimal lap... Actually, no, you can't see this. My optimal lap time and my best lap time are quite far apart at the moment because I've not actually done one full clean lap yet. But we shall try and do that now before the race actually starts. Now, I have plenty of experience of racing around Silverstone before, and I also have, and in real life I mean, and I also have plenty of experience driving single-seaters in real life, but I've never combined these two things together. I've never driven a single-seater, especially not one with this sort of power, around Silverstone, but I know that it's a great combo from all of my sim racing exploits in the past. So I'm pretty excited to do this and jump in and have some good fun racing here. Hoping that we get a full grid of cars. There's 24 people registered at the moment, so that's already going to be absolutely grand. It's just a case of whether it's split into 2 or whether we can fit all of the cars on the grid. I don't know what the grid size limit is for this series. But no expectation. Let's just go out there and have some fun and enjoy it. Cheers, Pran. Yeah, this is actually the fixed setup race first. So if I'm doing the open setup race after this, then I will give it a go. If I'm not crashing every 2 laps when I actually put it on for the first time, which is probably going to be during qualifying. So, fixed setup race first, so we'll get up to speed in a kind of safer manner. Now, these Super Formula cars, 2-litre turbocharged engines, around about 550 brake horsepower, and the car weighs about 600 kilos, so it is... I was going to say it's quite heavy, it's because I'm used to single-seaters that weigh about half of that. But it's obviously not heavy at all. It's a 600-kilo single-seater with a big engine in it. And it's obviously very powerful. So power to weight is huge, which is great. Oh, nice. Nice one, Lewis. Yeah, perfect. I mean, it's one of the best weekends of the year for just sport, I always think. Like, whenever Wimbledon's on and the British Grand Prix, sometimes the final clashes with the actual Grand Prix in terms of the day as well. But I love it. I'm a big fan of both of those things. And obviously, it's going to be really fun to jump on iRacing and drive something with lots of downforce, because I haven't really done that much downforce racing recently on iRacing, other than, I'd say, a couple of IndyCar races a while back. So we're just going to get the hang of this Super Formula car now, and the race will kick off in around about 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, Silverstone is just a track that very much suits high downforce cars, because of the nature of the flow and the layout. It's a bit like... I would say like Imola or something. It's not like Imola, but what I mean is in terms of how it suits a high downforce car with lots of kind of medium speed flowing corners, which you can really utilize the grip and the downforce available. So coming into Cops, it's like change down to 5th, onto the curb. I'm still obviously learning my limits in this car completely, but you can just really attack these corners. And it's going to be a case of, as I go through this stream, it's going to be learning a little bit about when the car actually starts understeering, when it bites back at me. Do I have to be smooth? Can I get away with being a bit more aggressive? How early can I get the throttle on? All of these things are going to be testing me today. So you're gonna come along for the ride and join me as I learn how these cars actually work. I know there is also a push-to-pass system, or like an overtake button type thing. So that's something I'm going to have to get used to. I've mapped a button, but I've not tried it yet in racing trim. So if I press the button now, you can see on the steering wheel, overtake on. There will be a time limit during the race, and then I press it again to turn it off. Pretty sure it doesn't actually work in a practice session. Be so careful on the throttle out of these slow corners. Oh, cheers, Lewis. I've not actually heard of Sync Mesh gloves, no. I love the Sabot gloves. They're so comfy and they look really nice. Always been a big fan since getting them. But no, not heard of Sync Mesh, so that's cool. Interesting, Andy. I've never actually tried it. I'm trying to use AI just a little bit more in everyday life, just because if I don't, I'll fall behind. I know a lot of people use ChatGPT and Gemini and all these things on a daily basis, and I never did. So I'm kind of like trying to just use it a bit more when possible, if anything, just to make sure I know how it all works. So I've never tried making a setup from it, but that's a cool idea. Definitely worth giving it a go. I tend to use Gemini instead of ChatGPT as well, but I mean, I think they're both as good and bad as each other in just different ways. Don't know what my fuel consumption is going to be in this car, so I need to pay attention to that. The race is 13 laps, so with lap times around 1:38, they're not the longest. Well, the fixed race anyway is not that long. The open race is like 22 laps or something. Try and also work out our track limits. Definitely losing time through there, but I always feel like that on every sim because I'm rubbish through the really slow corners, at Silverstone in particular. Hey Dave, how's it going? I'm on my first single-seater iRacing race on the channel, I think for a long time because the Indy 500 doesn't count. In fact, in terms of road races, so like road circuits rather than ovals, I don't know if I've actually done a single-seater open-wheel race on iRacing on the channel before. Can't think. I've done a Formula V race, but I don't know if that counts. Not much downforce. I'll definitely check out that company for the gloves, though. Oh, yes, look at the grip through there. Okay, finally getting a bit of understeer. Bit wide on the exit of Beckett's. Or whichever one it is, Maggots, Beckett's, Vale, Chat, I can't remember. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Dave. Very good. Going on a little holiday to Oban next week, which is going to be fantastic. Cramming my holidays into a small space of time this year, because obviously I was at Le Mans recently and then off to Oban again next week. But very much looking forward to it. Hope the weather's good and just getting some nice racing in before I go. So there won't be a stream next week, but hopefully we'll be back on again the week after. Let's see if I can find something about fuel usage here. Try second gear through this corner, see if it helps. Not really, just can't get the power down regardless of gear, so there's no point going too low. Let's see, what have we got? So we've got fuel anywhere. 26.7 litres, it's estimating about 11 laps for that. Try and remember that number. So 27 litres is estimated to do 11 laps. The race later I think is 22 laps, so maybe like 56 or 60 litres of fuel should be about right for that, assuming that that's actually accurate. But we'll try and I'll do some calculations now. So 26.2 crossing over the old start-finish straight. So see if we can remember that, guys. 26.2 over the start-finish straight of the old Silverstone, and I'll see how much fuel I have by the time I get around for the next lap. Oh, that was too much track limit, so that's good to know. What a great car this is, though. Hey, David. Thanks very much. Good to see you. Really, I really, and it's something that you might not be aware of as much, because as I say, we don't really do it that much on the channel just because of circumstances, but single-seater racing, I'm a huge fan. Like, I love my downforce. In real life, I'm more suited, I think, to these single-seaters and high downforce cars. It tends to suit my driving style, generally speaking. Not, obviously, it's not a case of every car. But I'm not going to because these cars have so much downforce, there's a lot of speed you can extract out of them by doing the right thing, and because this is going to be the first race, I'm really not expecting to be on the pace of the top drivers, and obviously, if there's only, a couple of splits, there's a good chance I'll be in that top split and up against, the regulars in this category, so I'm, not expecting anything in terms of results, other than just seeing what happens and having a bit of fun, seeing how far up we can get, and trying to keep it on the island as well, that's the other thing. Right, coming up to the start, so 26.2 was the number of fuel, I think. Coming up to the old start-finish line, and it's going to be 23.7. So what's that, 2.5 litres of fuel? Two and a half litres a lap, roughly. So I'll try and remember that. Thanks, Lewis. Appreciate it. We're spot on, yeah. 2.5. So 2.5 litres a lap, roughly. And it was estimating that 11 laps of fuel was about 27 or something. So I think for the longer race, I'll need to take like 60 litres of fuel or something. For the shorter race, it's going to be, I think, 13 laps. So what's that? 26 plus 7, 33, plus some safety margins. It's going to be like somewhere between 35 and 40 litres probably for this race anyway. But fixed setups, I don't even know if you can take the fuel out for the race. I don't think you can. Okay, nice little warm-up there. Let's see what we've got. So for the fixed setup race, I don't think we can really do much. I need to get used to... Oh, yes, locked to 37 litres. There you go. So I wonder if the open setup will allow me to take a full tank of fuel for the race, or whether I have to make a pit stop. That's something. If anyone watching the stream has actually raced Super Formula before, let me know. Do you have to make a pit stop in the open races? Obviously, we'll find out, because we're going to experience it for the first time in about an hour or so. Cheers, Lewis. Appreciate the engineering assistance. Hey, Filippo, how's it going? Do I have push to pass button set? Yes, I do, because I've never used it in this context, but I do have it assigned. I just can't practice with it. So if I press, yeah, there you go, overtake on. But obviously, it won't actually function until I'm in the race. I think my, 1:37.5 was my lap time. So in qualifying, hopefully, we'll be able to go a bit quicker, but the tyres might not be warm, so we'll have to see. Who else we got here? Crack420. Nice name. I usually tell ChatGPT the issues with my car, like entry understeer. It tells me what to do setup-wise. That's a good shout, actually, yeah. So it'll give you some advice based on all the knowledge out there of what you can try changing. That's a great idea. We did like a setup troubleshooting guide back on a set of Corsa Competizione ages ago, and it was looking at that sort of thing. So like, are you experiencing understeer on the way into a corner or oversteer on the way out of the corner? And if you are, what should you try and change to try and fix it? But that was a long time ago. So it's much easier to just put something into ChatGPT these days. You do need to be careful though, because the amount of times where I've tried to cross-check something with Gemini or ChatGPT just to see, and this is in recent weeks, as I said, because I've not been using this in the past. This is something I'm trying to use more in the last few weeks. The amount of times I've checked something or gone to cross-reference something and it's been completely wrong, and I've had to push it and ask it, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? And then eventually it'll either say, oh, sorry, I was wrong, or no, I'm sure, but you know it's incorrect. So you've got to be careful. But with stuff like that, with car setup changes, it should be pretty good, because it's kind of universal in a way. Silverstone and GT4 is pain, yeah. I can imagine. You need the downforce. I don't know if it's that far, Dave. I've not even looked into the drive. Drive to the ferry. I don't know. I think it'll be, obviously not to the ferry too, but I mean like the drive to the coast and then along to Oban. I'm not sure. 3 to 4 hours is probably about right. I'd say maybe 3 hours. I'm 4 hours to get up home to the Highlands, north of Inverness. Absolutely, Lewis. 100% we give permission for... Chuck that logo in there as much as you want. And if you like the livery, if you make a nice livery with Traction logos on it, send them our way. Because we'd love to see them. We'd love to share them on our social media. And, you know, we can maybe use them in future as well, depending on, obviously, if you want to share it. But, yeah, absolutely. Feel free to go wild with Traction logos and liveries. I've never used Copilot, Dave. I know about it, but I've never used it, so that's cool. I've not used it for any sort of photo generation or thumbnail stuff. I have mixed not mixed opinions, that's not fair. I have mixed feelings towards that sort of thing. If it makes your life a lot easier, if you're the one who does the thumbnails, then it's great. Obviously for someone whose job it is to make designs and stuff, it's a bit of a weird one. But if it can do a good enough job to get you, to help you out in your workflow, and it's just enhancing a thumbnail, then that's great. But I can imagine, yeah, it could be hit or miss. Try Gemini as well. Okay, we've got 3 minutes of practice and we're straight into qualifying. So I'm going to put the qualifying fix setup on, which should be lower on fuel. I've not driven this yet, so we're going to have to be careful here with how it handles. 9 litres of fuel. So yeah, that's like four-ish laps. Probably 3 laps, actually. It's really cool as well. If you want some setup advice without using AI tools, in the notes here for the Super Formula, you've obviously got lots of stuff here. So you've got information about the different downforces, 50% fuel, but also it tells you here some of the stuff you can change for more understeer or oversteer. Obviously, it's very simplified, but it's good. Little bits of advice. Also, like increasing the wing angles, what it might do, and moving the aerodynamic balance forward and backwards. All sorts of stuff, which is cool. Arnav, it obviously depends on the time of year and what's happening and what games are in what state. And I tend to, I'm open to lots of different things. It's also part of my job to be open to lots of different things. So I would say right now, the thing I'm really enjoying the online racing in is probably Le Mans Ultimate. iRacing is always enjoyable for me, but it's very much on an on-off basis where I play it at different amounts throughout the years, depending on what updates there are, what content I've got, because it's very hard to keep up with content if you're spending a lot of money. It's very expensive to be able to keep racing the newest stuff. So I tend to go through waves of playing iRacing a bit more and then not playing it much, and then coming back to it and having none of the content. So here we are in iRacing. I had to buy Silverstone and the Super Formula yesterday just to be able to do these races. So it's already quite a lot of money. It's the amount of money you would spend sometimes on a full game. And then ACC was my favorite for many years. Right now, I'm not really playing much ACC because I'm focusing more on other things. And then there are, Assetto Corsa I always love. Evo obviously is going to get there, but it's not there yet. But it will be great once it's all sorted. I'm sure of that. And just different, EA Sports WRC, massive rally person as well. So lots of different things. Oh, nice, Arnav. Yeah, I don't play F1 that much. I tend to play it when the games come out for a little while, and then they go a bit quiet on me for a bit, and then I come back to them for specific things. We've only got 2 laps to qualify here, guys. And there's no push to pass in qualifying, from what I'm aware. If I press the button, yeah, there's nothing happening. So, let's just get out there, warm the car up. I think you probably will want to do a little bit of tyre warming, but I'm not an expert in this, so it's very much just a case of qualify, see where we end up, and then I'm going to be learning a lot throughout this first race, as is usually the case when I jump into something that's a bit different. Let's try not to spin it on the qualifying outlap like I did last week in the GT3 around Brands. It's very dark and cloudy, which, I mean, fair, it's Silverstone. Because of how warm it's been recently, I mean, it's actually been very cloudy and rainy in Glasgow this week, but it feels like it should be sunny for some reason. I've had a lot of good weather recently. I believe first lap's probably going to be more of a banker. Just try and get some core temperature in these tyres without graining or scrubbing too much. I'm going to have to be a little bit tentative as well. First time on the quali setup, might be a little bit more aggressive than the race setup, so we'll just have to see. I also need to turn my engineer on because he's silent at the moment. I think it's the audio device. Could very much do with a spotter. Right, here we go. Flat through the first corner. Just watch track limits. You want to get over to the left, brake just before the 50, I would say, but I'm still working it out. A little bit of a lock up there. Cannot tell you what I should do through here because I haven't worked it out yet. Not that, basically. And look, tyres aren't quite there, and I'll miss the corner and then 4/10 off my all-time PB. Here, again, you want to brake around about the 50 just after, which seems really late, but these cars have so much downforce. Look, I actually went too early. Oh, no. Okay, this lap's gone. Let's just make sure we get round for another one, get a banker in, but I lost like 8/10 there. Just slightly pinched the brakes and felt like the car was going to loop on me, so I kind of bailed out of the corner and went very wide. Loads of speed through Stowe. Through Cops, sorry. Then you're flat through here, flat left. Tiny feather through the right, I'd say. And then a bit more of a brake and a downshift through the final left and right. Oh! I did. That could have ended in the wall. Right. First qualifying lap in the bin. Let's try again, shall we? I was really trying to just push a little bit on the corner exit there, just to see how it would react, and it feels like the tyres just weren't quite in there, but I managed to keep them, I think, in relatively okay nick by not. I just locked up a little there, but obviously didn't have a crash, which helps. Right, last lap, come on. This needs to be the one now. All the pressure on this lap, but at the end of the day, there's no pressure because this is just a little fun race to get us into Super Formula. Yeah, slightly pinching the brakes again there. Missed my... I think I have to brake earlier on the qualifying setup, probably because I'm carrying a little bit more speed in. So it's actually worse through the first sector, but we can get that back. Not too worried. Too safe in there, but it's okay. We survived. The quali setup is definitely a little more lively, as it should be. Not bad through Cops. We need a couple of hours of hot lapping continuously to really find all the limits. Survived, right. Just the last sector now to navigate, and we'll at least set a qualifying lap. Don't know how good it'll be. Not great, I would imagine. Definitely more speed possible through Stowe as well. Braking a little bit early generally. And then you're just fighting the car all the way through there to get the power on. There we go, it's a 138.2. Position 12. So that's a good spot to start the race from. We can hopefully go forward or try and get a top 10 from there. And I know there's a little bit more time. If I'd have got that hooked up, obviously I could have gone a bit quicker, but I put the pressure on myself for that lap. And let's see where we sit. So 35.8 is pole. That's awesome. So let's just that's the quality that's out there. That's what we're ultimately going to look for to try and get closer to. But I reckon anyone really from, what's that, 6th back. So Haley Dickinson, Luke Albins, Raul, Oscar, these guys are all within, I think, within range if I can sort myself out. Considering that was my first qualifying session, I've probably left a bit on the table. Hopefully in the race we can be a bit more competitive, but we're still ahead of quite a few folk, and some people haven't qualified, so it's okay. Interesting. So Arnav, you're on used equipment, yeah? There's so much there's so much like good hardware out there that just gets abandoned. The second-hand market could be huge for sim racing because people obviously get something and then look to upgrade or change and are always, you know, moving through ecosystems and all sorts of stuff. So there's so much stuff out there second-hand that's probably in really, really good nick. So it could definitely be, I think, like, it would be cool to see a more developed used sim racing hardware market than we've got already. But maybe it's already there and I'm just not really that aware of it. But you can obviously find lots of used hardware for sim racing, but to try and find the specifics, and yeah, it'd be cool to have a slightly more organized way of finding stuff. Oh, nice one. I'm not going to try and predict. Dodiclo? I'm sorry for the pronunciation. Do you know why most of the ACC players tend to slide? I've seen the very fast dudes slide around every time. I think it's obviously just to do with how to get the lap time from the physics. So every different game has different, let's call them exploits, is maybe a harsh word, but like, we'll use it anyway. Every game has different exploits or things you can do with the physics in order to get the most lap time out of the car, whether that's sliding the car a certain way or whether it's keeping it really smooth and on straight and narrow. Every game has a different way of driving to get the most out of it, just like every real car has a different way of driving to get the most out of it. So it might be, for the top level of ACC, there's a little bit of sliding involved. It is locked fuel, by the way, 37 litres. So that's probably why. You'll just find that on ACC, like I remember when I was playing ACC, depending on the car, different cars would suit different styles. And with the McLaren and stuff, it was very much a case of like carrying the speed into the corner and getting it. You basically using the slide to give you the grip on the way out. It's not always 100% realistic, but when you're at the top level, you have to do whatever you can to get the lap time, basically. Yeah, 100%, Dave. Let's see what happens in future anyway. So, we have our race set up. There's a lot of people impressed by the times looking at the iRacing chat. And now I don't even know, is it a standing start? If it's a standing start, I don't have a clutch, so it's going to be interesting. I would have thought it's a rolling start, but I didn't look into it, and I get the impression based on launch control. Oh goodness, the strength of field is so high. Yeah, because I've seen like a launch control setting, I'm worried that it's a standing start. And I forgot to get the engineer. Actually, can I escape? Or will it? Yeah, I can still grid. Let me just quickly, I've got 10 seconds. See if I can get the engineer going. Sound. Quick, grid. We made it. Let's see if the engineer speaks. Basically, it's a device issue. Hey! Oh no, it's a standing start. Okay, we're literally going straight into this. With no clutch.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, way too much wheel spin. Oh man, right, I need launch control or a clutch for the next one, but it's fine. It's a long race.
Right side.
Right, get some heat in the tyres.
Car right. Still there.
Survive the opening laps without damage. It's a high strength of field.
Keep to the left.
2,800. Oofed. That was close.
Clear.
It's all, as usual, it's all happening very quickly and we're just into a big race straight away. I need to remember I've got overtake as well.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. Car on your left.
Been rear-ended. I don't know what damage
Stay
I've
on
got.
the right. You've got wheel damage.
Oh,
Clear.
I've got damage. That literally might be our race over straight away.
Your rear wing is damaged. Might have lost some downforce. Watch for oversteer.
What a shame. Yeah, I was just trying to manage things, and I didn't want to brake too late or too early. I saw the guy behind was quite aggressive, but straight into my rear, and that's basically the race over, unfortunately. Got rear. I don't know if I've got a rear wing, but I've got damage. I've got steering damage. I don't have crew chief on at the moment. I've used it in the past.
Go left.
What a shame. Right, I need to make a decision here, so... We'll maybe do one more lap and just see how much damage I've actually got in terms of how it's affecting the car. I'm having to steer slightly to go straight, and I've got rear wing damage as well, so it's going to cost me a fair bit. But let's just see how drivable it actually is. You can see the angle of the steering. Try and take this corner flat and see what happens. Nope. Oh, just I had to lift a little. But really bad FPS as well for some reason. Oh, do I have fast repair? Yeah, possibly do have fast repair, so I should just come in. But obviously it's going to put us a long way back, but you never know. It's good practice anyway. Do a race stint. I've got a car right
You
behind me.
got a slow car on the right. Left side. Clear on the left.
Yeah, we'll take a fast repair. We'll let this guy go.
Right side. Clear on the right.
This is where, because I jump between so many sims, it's trying to remember how each pit stop system works, and when you get into a race, oof, yeah, that damage is crucial. Can't see anything. We'll just jump in the pits and see what happens. What a shame. What a shame. It all went wrong on like turn 3, which is not the first time I've experienced that, as you guys know.
The pit box in 10.
Terrible start as well. Would have been a much easier race, you would have
5,
thought, if I'd have managed to actually get a decent
3,
start
2,
in as well.
1. Right here. All the damage is repairable.
Okay, we've not got a quick... Yeah, we've got no fast repair. That's what I was actually looking for earlier. We'll just see if how the car feels. Can I hide the halo column in this car? We can up the height, which is quite nice. There you go. It's the Super Formula car, Jan. We'll just see how it feels when we get out of the pits. But that's... we're already going a lap down. Oh, what a nightmare. The best thing about AI racing, you can just restart if this happens. Yeah, you're not wrong, Arnav. How's F1 practice going? I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I mean it's practice, so I don't think there are really any spoilers. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting. Interesting. And surprising result in first practice, which I've just seen. Surprising in some ways and not surprising in others. Hamilton quickest. Oh, right. I might actually turn off the halo after this then. If I remember to turn off the halo after this race, we can give that a go. And I'm thinking though the next race for this is the open setup race, which I'm really looking forward to. But I think there's a chance of rain based on what I've seen, like a 30-something% chance of rain. So I don't care if it's wet. I'm going to enjoy it regardless. But this might be our only dry laps of the day. So we'll use it to get a little bit of a feel for this car anyway. I'm see if I can learn it a little bit more and try and get the lap time out of it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Dave. He always goes well at Silverstone. Always goes well. I can't remember the last time he was off the podium at Silverstone. But the Ferrari's just not been good enough this year. So it was okay in Austria, but that was probably the best of the year, and it was still like quite a long way off per lap of the McLaren. So I think the car is too slow for him to work his magic for a win, but you never know. Maybe a podium. Maybe a P3. I think George might win this weekend, based on how good the Mercedes can be in cool conditions. And obviously, when Lewis has done well at Silverstone, he's also been driving the Mercedes. So you could also say the Mercedes has been good around Silverstone. So I'm going to go for a Russell win, and I'm going to go for either... Lewis maybe 4. I reckon Russell win, McLaren's 2 and 3 in whatever order they qualify in. And, you know, which it could be a 50-50 for me, which one finishes second. And then we'll go Hamilton 4th. There you go. Oh, that's gutting, Dave. I've only been once. I've been to one British Grand Prix, which is amazing. But when I used to work at Silverstone, we got an opportunity to buy some tickets at a decent price for some hospitality tickets because I worked there, which was amazing. So we got to go and just enjoy it in the grandstand heading into Stowe, which is a pretty awesome place to sit and watch. But going to the Grand Prix for me is nowhere near as... I didn't enjoy it as much as like going to...
Okay, punch it.
Oh, I didn't do all my repairs. I forgot that on iRacing you've got to wait, don't you? I just thought I'll get the engine started and get ready. Oops. I might just need to come straight back in and finish that. That was all on me. I will have the leaders as well, not that far behind, so... Ooh, I might come in and make sure that the car's 100% okay, and then we'll go for a push. And it also just lets the whole pack get through without me causing any issues or having to back off for all the traffic. Yeah, the Grand Prix that I went to was the 2023 British Grand Prix. So it was the year where McLaren had sort of got their car working, and the second half of the year, obviously, Norris... sorry, that was last year. It was the year where McLaren were rubbish at the start of the year, but then got it working. And on the Grand Prix Sunday, they were, I think, was it second and third on the grid, and then they both passed Verstappen to have 1-2 for the first few laps, and it was all very exciting. And then obviously Max was Max and just got back past them both. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to come back into the pits. Just make sure all the repairs are done. It means that the leaders can get through without me having to stay out of the way. It might just be like 3 seconds of optional repairs, but that's fine. We don't need tires.
10 to go, this time by.
Is it going to give us tires anyway?
Box in, 10.
What's my button? There you go.
5.
Just trying to get used to all this
3,
again.
2, 1. Right here.
7 seconds. Perfect. And I need to get launch control sorted for the next race.
Okay, punch it.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, so you've never been to motorsport. I mean, there's like the Grand Prix is obviously a big way to get started. But there are loads of amazing like national series and British GT and all these things, touring cars that are great to go to as well. All right, cold tires, blue flags. So I'm not going to hold anyone up, but if I can get the tires warm, let's see if I can slot into 15th and actually have 15th place pace here. This is probably about where roughly where I was in that opening lap, I would say. So I'll only let the guys through if I get blue flags again because I'm slower than them, but if I can get away, then I will try. How many times does it need to happen on lap 1 for me to start calling it an iRacing lap 1 curse, though? Ooh, how's it going? In terms of SimLab wheelbases, we've not got any like further news at the moment. But obviously, as soon as we do, it will be on the TraxionGG website. So if you keep an eye on the website, and you can even save SimLab or SimRacing hardware as a category, you will know about it as soon as we know anything about SimLab, SimLab's wheelbases. You'll find it on the Traction channel. Right, let's try and get into a bit more rhythm here. I've got a bit of weird frame issues again, which I was having on LMU recently. I think it's because I need to do something about full screen and windowed mode. We've stabilized the gap to the car behind, so let's just, without obviously causing any incidents here, let's try and treat this as a bit more of like a race stint and see how I get on. Find my rhythm. We'll obviously pick up places from anyone who retires before the last few laps. Cheers. This is now our test session for the next race, albeit on the fixed setup, which we probably won't be using.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap.
36.6 in race trim. I was what was I in the practice session? A 37.5 was it? 37.5 I think, on the race setup. So second and a bit away. Once the tyres get up to temperature in 2 laps time, then we'll see where we're really at. Oh, that's so kind of you, Arnav. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it, and hopefully you're enjoying the stream despite the carnage that happened there in the first lap. Alright, well, I'm going to bring up my, there we are, all-time best lap indicator, just to get an idea of where we're at pace-wise and see what's working and what's not. Tried braking a little bit too late there. Okay, so just after the 50, but not quite as late as I did that time, and get it in, and then we should be okay. Use the downforce on the trail braking. It was a 37.5 that we did, which you can't quite see because it's underneath my face. Yeah, no, very, very kind of you, Arnav. Thank you so much. Appreciate the donation. Cheers. I will, absolutely. We're managing the gap to Andres, but we're falling a little bit behind Evan, so I need to find my rhythm here. Just basically using the relative lap timer as like a... or the relative timer, I should say, as like a fake race. Okay, brake a little later into here.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Alright, that was with a few mistakes, so let's go and smash that one now. Oh, yeah. Too late on the brakes again. That's what we did in qualifying. So we need to solve that issue. So it is not braking after the 50, or it's basically just before the 50, not on it. We'll bring up the little... I'll bring up the relative timer for the best lap of this session. So here, if I brake at the 50...
Car stops on the left.
I could definitely go a little later than that. Yes, Tom. Yes, you are. But you should know by now.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap.
36.4, right.
36.402.
If leader's doing 36.4, I would really, really like a 37.4 if at all possible. Always time to find in braking zones and single seaters. Alright, come on. Much better lap required. I've got overtake as well. So I haven't even thought about that, so that's going to give me some lap time. Let's see what it does. Oh, didn't really get the upshift. It's barely doing anything to the lap time, to be fair. And then we can't activate it for a certain number of seconds. It's like 110 seconds or something, so you need to use it in the place where it's best to be used, basically. Which I think is probably where I did it, or maybe out of here onto the hangar straight.
2 laps to go. 2 to go.
There's only 2 laps to go. That feels a bit... Of course, I did spend like 3 or 4 laps in the pits, didn't I? Makes sense, actually. We're 5 laps away from the finish for ourselves. Oh, awesome, Arnav. No, that's great. We'll hopefully pay you back with our content and live streams. Too early on the brakes. Alright, that's a bit better. Still not what we want, but better.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Have not got the left-hander right at all. Can't use overtake yet, so we're going to have to wait till... Maybe I'll use it all the way through the next section, to be fair, because you can leave it on for quite a while.
There's an incident
spinner.
ahead. Go left. Right side.
That was
Still
close.
there. Clear on the right.
Let's just let these guys through. Because I'm not in that race. But yeah, that was just car in front spun, and I made a decision left or right, and I went left. I was going to go right, but then I think they, trying to second guess it, and I just thought safest way is left because I can bail out easier. So unfortunately that ruined our lap, but it's all good.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap.
Hey, nice one, Arnav.
35.547.
Welcome to the family. Right. We'll save our push to pass in case we get one more lap in here. I'm going to back off a little bit, just in case. Give myself a little bit of room from these guys. And then we'll go for a decent push lap. But as I say, I'm not going to get involved with the race because I'm multiple laps down. And I'm not going to be that person that starts trying to overtake them and get in the way. So let's just give ourselves a bit of space. We've got 3 seconds to car behind.
White flag, white flag.
And then we'll go for a nice fast lap at the end, hopefully. Try and put everything together. Ooh, that was weird. Okay, that's not quite putting everything together for a sector, but not terrible. So you're going to brake just after the 50 board, get it going in towards the corner nice and early. We'll leave overtake on all the way to the finish. Actually, I probably could have had it on for the whole lap, to be fair, because we've obviously got 180 seconds of it. That's something I should have thought about in hindsight.
Just set the fastest lap. 35.4.
Wow, 35.4, so they've just used all their overtake. That was off track, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh. We'll keep pushing anyway to see the lap time, but I've invalidated. Just a bit too much curb on the inside.
5 laps of fuel left.
Overtake makes a bit of a difference, but not an enormous one. Oh, that's too early on the brakes again. Just thinking too much about overtake. Ooh. Anyway, we get our mid. It's not quite right, but we get a bit of a mid 37 anyway. Wow, okay. Real shame that we didn't get to actually properly enjoy that race and fight for positions. We had no battles because of that first lap.
We'll get them next time.
But we were in a pretty competitive split there with a high strength of field. I think I must have been, yeah, I was 14th highest in that. So let's just, I mean, that's a little bit more testing. Feel a bit more comfortable. So let's see what happens if we can get into this open race, maybe in the wet. We'll do some testing though beforehand to get warmed up because we've got about 20 minutes. We'll go back and watch that opening lap though, shall we? So this is lap 1. Here we are. So, I mean, I was defending the inside a little bit, and I saw the frag, but did I move over on him slightly? No, I don't think so. Just trying to hold my line. I was maybe heading slightly in, but we're talking tiny bit. I mean, that is, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I did anything there, really. Unfortunate. Let's see if we jump on board with the car behind. So Pablo, I think, was just feeling very racy at the start here. Yeah. I mean, that was, I think that's clear from my perspective anyway. The last time, I mean, obviously nothing's deliberate, right? But that was a little bit, let's say clumsy. Bit clumsy, unfortunately. I was kind of like, I knew the car was behind me, but I was also wanting to not brake too late because of all of this up in front. I didn't want to go ploughing in, so I've hit the brakes in a fairly sensible place. Obviously earlier than on a fast race lap, but it's cold tires, cold brakes. I went past the 100, then on the brakes, same as the cars in front, and then boom. Oh well. It is what it is. Let's see I want to see the leader and their fastest lap. Timothy. Let's see Timothy's, and this is the highest I rating, so it'll be very high I rating. I want to see what techniques, because it's all fixed setup, so same setup as everyone else. Probably on overtake for most of that last lap. 35.4. That's incredible. So, let's see. Let's see the lap on board. So it's going to be flat through turn 1. No worries about track limits. All the way over to the left. And this is where I need to learn. So, smoother on the brakes, more of the curb. Keeps it way further over to the right. Okay, and then, wow, okay, they're sliding the car. So, this is interesting. My driving style generally is a bit more scrappy, a bit more sliding. I like to use the rear to get it turned and push and all that. But obviously in these cars, I'm still feeling my way in. And with iRacing, I'm still trying to be smooth and stay comfortable. So this is actually more like my driving style once I'm up to speed and comfortable. So that's good to know you can be a bit more aggressive. I mean, Timothy's like throwing it in, using the rear there. Look, he's got it right on the balance, probably playing around with some of the electronic settings. And the main difference, of course, is that he's able to stay way further to the right. So through here, I'm going in very hot, going all the way to the left, which I'm never quite sure about. He stays over to the right, which makes sense. Gets the car rotating into the left, over the curb, onto the power. So, like, you can see he's constantly making micro adjustments, which is my favorite thing to do. And what's he doing through here? So, braking. Yeah, just after the 50. loads of speed in. Again, the car's fighting him all the way through. Keeping it nice and tight on the curb, power early, fighting the oversteer sensibly, using all the green runoff area, so there's more on track limits there. Big cut through there, so you can see his left tire is just touching. Let's go to, I was almost there. Yeah, look at that. So that's the line through there. Cut as much as possible while still touching the curb. It's going to be a slight lift. Yeah. Small lift through. We weren't actually too bad through Cops. I don't think we were a million miles away. Another lift there. Brake in there. Down a gear. Down 2 gears. Okay, so not a million miles away through some of the faster corners, maybe. It's the slow stuff. Just really smooth through there, to be fair. So that's just time behind the wheel and experience. Sticking to the left, which is interesting. Then, wow. Okay, way more brave and aggressive on the way into Stowe. Literally braking at the 50 and turning. Like that takes some serious practice and skill and confidence, which we don't have yet, but we'll get there. And then yeah, more committed on the way into there. I knew I was losing time there, braking too early on the start of the curb. Not a huge difference in it, but just carrying the minimum speed and saving the changes till way after the corner. That's interesting. So more entry speed there. Wow, okay. Can learn a few bits and pieces from that. Nope. Accidentally saved it as a random name. Anyway. So, let's get signed up then for, if I get this up, for the next one. So the results are in. I've lost safety rating and I rating, perhaps unsurprisingly, on my kind of formula side of things. Would have liked to have done a mid 37 with a good legal lap, but we didn't quite get there. But yeah, strong average strength of field, all good. I will do some more GT3 at some point, Arnav, but for this one I was going to stick to this super formula and just enjoy these new cars now that we've got them. Enjoy Silverstone, and I enjoyed that first race, despite the fact that there wasn't really a race. I enjoyed the little hot lapping session. So the next one we're going to do is this, which is in 18 minutes. Super Formula, Silverstone 330, but it's open setups. So let's get out there and practice a little bit. As I say, it might rain. We've got a 30-something% chance of rain from what I saw earlier. Let's see if that's changed, but I don't think it does change. Rain possible, there you go. It looks very much got a chance of precipitation there. 28%, 29%. Yeah. So it's about 30%. So it's more likely not to rain. But let's see. We'll give it a go. We'll see what the practice session is, whether it's dry or wet. And we'll give the setup a go and see if it's impossible to drive. Just seeing if I missed any of your questions. I will go and try and hide the column. So I've not done that on this car, obviously. So I'll have a look at that and see if we can get rid of it. I'm seeing Dave, if you're still here. You haven't decided between Fanatec DD Plus, Asetek Forte, Simucube 2 Sport, or Simagic. That for me is literally just confirmation of how good sim racing hardware is at the moment, because I'm looking at that list. Fanatec DD Plus, very, very strong. It's one of the few there. In fact, it's the only one there that I've not given a proper go with my own, under my own terms, if that makes sense. But I've heard very, very good things about it. And I really enjoyed the previous Fanatec DD Pro, which was my wheel of choice for a long time. Asetek Forte, everything Asetek does from wheelbases has been really solid. Really, really good. Simucube 2 Sport, is what I'm running Simucube 2 Pro, and you could turn down the force feedback on this, and I don't run it 100% at all. So Simucube 2 Sport would, I'm sure, be a fantastic option as well. And SIMAGIC, again, I had SIMAGIC on the rig for a little while, and this was the previous iteration, and they've actually updated them now, and they've made new wheelbases, but I thought it was fantastic. And it was the mid-range one. The Alpha, it was the SIMAGIC Alpha. So, yeah. Basically, Dave, pick any of them. They're all great. Let's actually, before I do that, sorry, let me just get this set up on the car, and then we're going to see if it's drivable. So this is like a race setup now. I'm going to have more fuel in the car because it's going to be a longer race. Don't know how much fuel this has got right now. Let's see. 54 litres. Okay, so it's probably spot on for the race distance, because that's kind of where I was expecting to be. So it should be heavier, so I'm not expecting it to be faster straight away, but let's hope it feels good. Let Martin get through. There he is. Okay, so heavy race car now. Let's try some of our new techniques and see what we can learn. Very murky and grey and cloudy, but no rain at the moment. So it'll be a cold track. It's all about confidence, building the confidence in this, and understanding what the car is doing underneath me. What kind of times are people doing here? 1:30, yeah. 35s, 36s are the fastest times again. So I can definitely brake later for Stowe once I've got more temperature, but again, much heavier fuel load than the lap we were on board with there, so that could change things. I think second gear, it's got to be third through there. Don't even know if I need second, actually.
You got a slow car on the right. Car stopped on the right.
Let's get our first laps in. So I need to brake. I need to get that. Basically, I need to be better through that left-right, or the right-left, sorry, so that I can be further over to the left and get my braking right for the second part. So that's something I will definitely work on. Let's just change the timer to be, so we can see how it compares to the last setup at least. Yeah. So you need basically. Sorry, I'm just reading. So with more people getting sim, yeah, that makes complete sense. And also, the thing is, like, hardware is becoming relatively cheaper now because of the competition. Like, there's so much competition out there for good hardware that manufacturers have to sell cheaper products now just to keep up with it and just to make sure they're not getting outdone by competitors. I'm gonna still need to go and turn off the halo as well, I remember, and look into starts. So yeah, obviously the more the prices go down, the more people that get into sim racing. It also means the more that, like, second-hand sim racing equipment, the more will be available if more people are getting into it. There'll be more buying and selling. So it's yeah. Obviously, more people in sim racing is great for everyone, right? More people buying games means more money for the developers and the publishers. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, I don't think I need second through there. Alright, let's see what we can do then on this full tank. Now that tyres are a bit more up to temperature, let's say. So if I can stay more to the left here, which I definitely can do. Try not to pinch the tyre like I'm doing. I'm still too far over to the left. So I need to get the car turned before braking there. But yeah, I can definitely see that being a lot quicker if I get that right. A lot to do with trail braking technique. And a lot to do with bravery as well in the braking zones, but obviously I'll get it wrong. That's the thing, you need to make mistakes to... Ooh. Trying to be too early on the throttle there. When you're learning these things, you've got to, like, yeah, you've got to try and compromise between taking risks and, you know, trying later braking and all these things, and obviously binning it too much and not actually getting the practice in. So it's a constant, like, battle between confidence and bravery and sensibleness, basically. But the car feels really solid, which is nice. 19 people registered for the race, so if we only get one split, if not many more people register, then the strength of field will be a little, probably more all over the place. But hopefully we have enough for 2 splits. Done it again, second gear, didn't need it. Alright. Try again.
You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
I'm locking up every time, so maybe it's too much steering angle on the way in or something. But then here, obviously you can trail brake in, no bother. Don't know if overtake actually does anything, but we'll see. Yeah, that might be making a difference in practice. Braking later into Stowe. Oh, that was good. Didn't do second gear that time, finally got it right. And we were green, even on the full tank of fuel, so there you go. Slight improvements coming now.
You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
Just need to hook it all up together. This is the section I'm struggling with most, I think. Got the corner cut in. Oh, I missed the apex. Yeah. Oh, somehow it's still legal. I actually gained, but there's much more through cops if we get it right. Ah, that's the one. The end. What am I looking for? The front end bites too much through the left-hander, and I end up turning a bit too much and cutting the track just because there's more grip than I expect. So that's something I need to try and get my head around. Whereas I can just absolutely fire through still. So much more speed can be carried there. Wow, okay. Look at the entrance there to club. Just by being late on the brakes, thought it was way too late, and it turned and it went. And I gained so much on the entry.
You've just set your fastest
And there's a
lap of the session.
37.6. So it's building up together. This is the one that's struggling. Less braking input maybe, just to...
Slow car ahead.
Maybe try a third gear instead of second.
Left. Go right. Slow car ahead. Go right.
It does those. You're absolutely right. To be fair, when I've raced at Silverstone in the past, I've had a wet test day, or a wet practice day, but generally speaking it's been like really nice sunny weather, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. So I'm kind of used to like sunny Silverstone, not horrible Silverstone. Yeah, there is a limit to how much we can cut there, which I just wanted to test. Flat through here. This is the one where I cut usually, and then I need to get earlier over to the right for the last part if I'm going to take that much speed. Okay, let's take a breather and change some settings and make sure I should probably do a practice start as well, really, shouldn't I? See if I can actually get off the line this time. Okay, let's hide the halo. So I've not done this on here for a while. Is there a setting for hiding the halo? Also, I need to change... It is ticked at full screen, so I need to make sure it's actually full screen when the race starts. Where is the setting for turning off the halo? Is it in car setup options? Does anyone know? We can make a tips and tricks video about it once we find the setting. It's not in car setup. Let's try hide obstructions graphic. Oh, nice. Okay. Hide obstructions. Hey, thank you guys. Cockpit halo. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Just makes it a bit. Yeah, there you go. A bit cleaner. William, thank you so much. Yeah, let's try and assign my hand clutch for the starts and see if I can actually. I don't really have time to like properly get it right, so I just need to see if the bite point or the launch trigger will work. I might have to redo them all here. And then we'll go launch trigger. What button am I not using? Let's try that one, see what happens. Okay, wow. That was just a hand clutch start by doing it all manually, and it was pretty good. I'm going to do that again out on circuit. Just when I'm out of the way. So I've got a couple of cars to come through. We'll get onto the straight and then we'll do a little start again. That was, I mean, the first launch with obviously no clutch was just absolutely horrendous. Okay, let's just give this a go then. I'm not using the button for a launch start. Don't quite know how it works. Oh, there it is. Ah, so you got to hold them both down. Okay, and then I got to let go of the button. Okay, too much wheel spin. That's the button. So that's all to do with bite point. So let's just try full clutch and then do it manually. So this is just me experimenting. Experimenting, trying to find out how to actually get this thing off the line. My start out of pit lane was so much better. Let's try a low throttle. It's too much clutch. That's better. Oh, someone didn't see me.
You've got wheel damage.
40% throttle, and then just a bit on the clutch. Ah,
You've got some
William.
damage. Let's get
William,
that
I need
fixed.
to employ you. You're my engineer. You're gonna sort me out on iRacing with everything here, and I'm gonna become a pro. Well, no, I'm not. That's brilliant. 40% throttle is the one. And I did do a bit less clutch, so let's try that again. Okay, bit too much there. Shouldn't really be doing this in the pit lane. Oh, what a launch. Yeah, William is Bono. 100%. Very nice. So 31 people registered, so they're probably, I don't think there's going to be a 31 car grid, so it's going to be 2 of 15 or 16, and I'm probably going to be in split 1 again. So it's going to be a tough grid, I think, to be competitive again, but hey, start from somewhere. Let's try one more start. So much better than the terrible start I got earlier, isn't it? So that's the bite point, it's like there. I could also just set the bite point properly. Let's try that. If I can do it on the bite point, we'll get an even better start, guys. So let's just say, like, let's try 60%. So the way this works is you hold a button and the clutch, and then when you let go of the button, it selects the correct bite point. Oh, it's not stall though. So if I do this, let's just see. I need to join the session as well. So clutch fully in, and then 40% throttle, and then I let go of the button. And then I just need to start lifting off the clutch quicker. That could be the one. All right, that could be the one. Just research is what's needed. Pre-race prep. To be fair, I've had no time to do pre-race prep today. But next one we're going to go. It's going to rain. So just having a look. Sorry I missed that, Arnav. I was so busy focusing on the starts that I didn't see your question. How much do you expect your rig will cost in second hand? I don't know if you're talking. Do you mean someone you're chatting to, or do you mean me? I will come back to that and answer anyway, regardless. Fine cost, thank you so much. Good to see you on the stream again. It's been amazing having you along for so many of these. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're just getting started with these live streams, trying to do them more regularly, and we're still we're still obviously finding out how these work and what different games are good for live streaming. And obviously, you know, everyone's interested in different games, so it's great to just try experimenting and play different games. But I've seen you've been along for the journey for the whole time, and that you've been supporting us the whole time. So very much appreciate the donation, along with your membership as well. Means a lot. So thank you. Yeah, Arnav, I have my rig new in terms of the actual rig that I'm sitting on is it's a Pro SIMRIG PSR3. So you can find out how much that costs new nowadays. I think it's like, I'm not 100% sure, maybe 800 or something as a guess. No, it means a lot. Appreciated. Thank you so much. Yeah, the rig itself. So but the problem with used rigs really is that they're very like difficult to package up and send, because obviously when you build a rig in a house with not much room, it kind of like feels permanent. It's there, and to try and get it all taken apart again. Obviously, you scrape bits of it because you have to constantly, if you're me anyway, and you're putting on different pedals and wheels, you have to constantly adjust things so the rig gets scratched, and then to actually have someone to send it to someone is going to cost a lot of money. So generally, with rigs, you would probably be selling locally to someone who's willing to come and pick it up with a van, and you have to still take it apart to a degree to get out of the. For me, I'm on a 3rd floor flat with no lift, so it's not easy to move a rig around. But obviously all the other stuff makes a big difference. So like your direct drive wheelbase, or your wheel. I mean, this particular wheel I'm using right now, I do not own this. This has been sent to us for review, and I'm working on that as well. So that is a very expensive Mercedes F1 wheel, which I will show you. So this, I mean, that's going to be very expensive used or new. But I haven't really, I mean, with the rest of the stuff, you obviously, it's hard to know exactly. I think you calculate how old it is it in great condition, and there's a percentage, you would probably do a percentage check in terms of how much you sell it for based on how old it is, does it have any damage, how much use it had, all of these things. So it's very difficult to evaluate how much things would cost used, but yeah, obviously a good bit cheaper than new, let's put it that way. I'm just about to do qualifying, just loading in the setup. We're going to make sure that we've got enough fuel to do more than one lap. That's fine. And yeah, open setup, so let's see if I go any quicker this time. Let's see if in a very short qualifying session... Oh, yeah, I need to remember I've not got auto clutch on anymore. Let's see if in a very short qualifying session we can set a 37 lap time with relatively cold tyres, etc. And again, the laps I did there in preparation were on the race setup, so no laps in the qualifying setup. But on the second lap, we're just going to have to trust the car underneath us, I think. And I'll try not to spin off this time. Almost instant curse. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, appreciate it, Fine Cost. Yeah, this is the thing. Silverstone single-seaters. It's a great way to get your head in the game for the Grand Prix. It's just a perfect combo for today. Car's actually feeling pretty good already. So tires are coming up to temperature okay. In terms of iRating, I don't know, we're the 11th highest, so I'm guessing we're in top split again.
Green, green, green.
Right, come on.
Okay, here comes your first time
Let's
lap.
try and actually push a bit more the first lap this time, just to try and get in a better rhythm. Don't think I even need second gear through
You have
there.
about 2 laps of fuel left.
This is better. As you can tell, concentrating a bit. Yeah, first push lap's actually going quite well. We're on for a 36 maybe here for the first time, if I can keep it together. Trusting the car a bit more.
One more lap.
Nice, that's a good lap. 36.3 there. Much, much better. Come on. One more lap, hopefully better tyres. But I need to drive really well here. Yeah, you can feel the car snap away from you there when you turn into that second part. So I guess that oversteer moment for the driver we went on board with,
1 lap of fuel left.
that was just sheer balance shifting from right to left. So that's something that's going to happen naturally. You don't have to force it, really. Nice time, though, to get your first 36.3 in qualifying. And I'm sitting P3 at the moment, which is lofty, but obviously way more faster laps to come for everyone else. And I'm pretty much matching it on this lap. So I'm going to focus up here. Try and attack this even more. Nice. Much better on the exit, but actually no better overall. Interesting. Almost identical lap. Literally, oh no, off track.
Checkered flag, checkered flag.
Ah, 36.511. Tell you what, that was better. That's 2 similar lap times. Obviously, it was open setup, so I've got a bit of a faster qualifying setup probably than I had in the fixed setup races. But hey, that's much, much improved. I've got someone asking if I'm the traction guy. I'm just going to respond. Live now. So Marcel, you can come and watch. Right. How are we sitting then? Results-wise, 35.5 on pole, 36.0, 36.3. Honestly, though, I've got 3 drivers behind me, Marco, Marcel, and Leishan, all on mid to high 36s, and I felt like I nailed my quali lap there, and obviously the second one was similar, but a couple of tenths off, so I'm going to have to really, really try to maintain that sort of confidence and speed, because obviously in the race, I'm not going to be as confident. See, that's not a good start, is it? That's not a good mentality. I don't feel as confident going into it. Qualifying, I was really going for it. In the race, it's about like survival, and I've not actually done any battling yet in these cars, so I've not experienced wash, I've not experienced slipstream overtake mode working properly, so I'm very much a newbie when it comes to the racing. I'm going to have to be a bit careful. Quite a few drivers haven't managed to get a qualifying lap time in either, so it looks like we might actually start pretty near the front, which is terrifying. Let me just get us ready for the race. But wow, yeah, I'll take it. Big contrast from the last one. Oh, yeah, so Finecost is looking for a new headset. The Pimax stuff is pretty good. I've tried a couple of Pimax headsets now briefly at events, and they've been really, really good. I've been impressed in terms of the visual fidelity and stuff once you get them in focus, which is always my issue with the glasses, just getting the headset in the right position. But yeah, they've been really good. Arnav asks if I think Max will be able to fight McLaren since this season is basically them versus Max. I don't know. Depends if the Red Bull's in the window this weekend or not. It's the Red Bull is very track dependent, I think, as to whether or not it's in the window. So I think around Silverstone, my gut tells me it's George and Mercedes that are going to challenge McLaren, not Max. But if it rains, very good chance of proving me wrong. And Arnav, you're new to iRacing as well. Yeah, we need to. You need to speak to William. I'm very much not new to iRacing. I've been playing for a decade, but because I play so many different racing games and I'm on and off of iRacing, I don't do online racing consistently enough to really be on it with all of the different features and all the different things. So it usually takes me a little bit of like rejogging the memory to remember how to actually race properly. But here we go. 22. I'm actually gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna add a tiny bit of fuel. It's probably enough fuel I've got, but just to be safe, I'm going to add a couple of litres. Oh, no, I can't add a couple of litres. It's failed tech, right? We're going to go with the original fuel. We're going to trust it. We're just going to trust the process. And if I run out of fuel, oh well. Oh, nice, Arnav. Yeah, well, you can learn along with me. We can learn together. I can't believe I'm starting from third. This is terrifying.
Looks like there's rain in the area. Be mindful.
And it could rain and we're on wets, and I've never obviously driven this car in any way on
dry
wets.
tire.
Which is scary. Okay, I'm going to try the
The estimated strength
launch.
of field is 2,825.
Very strong strength of field. Once again.
Let's take opportunities. Waiting on the final car to grid.
I'm going to try the start. It's not going to be easy.
Green, green, green.
Okay.
There's an incident behind.
Not terrible. Obviously not as good as cars around me. So let's settle in.
Right
Full
side.
tank of fuel. Much more weight than the first
Still
race. And cool tires.
Keep to the left.
Okay, we've held P4.
Clear.
Alright, come on. And I've got overtake as well, but let's try and save it. Actually, no, I say that. I'm going to defend P4 here. Just make sure.
Right side.
He's going to go on the outside, and he's going to have the grip here. Oh, fair play. I'm just being cautious.
You're on the right. Car right.
Marcel's done me. Well done,
Still
Marcel.
there, hold your line.
If you're watching this
Clear
later,
on the right.
well done. I'm too tentative. But let's just get comfortable in these cars under racing conditions. We've made it further than the last time. And obviously, yeah, dirty air. Let's watch out for dirty air. Gonna focus up here. Wow, okay, big difference. Dirty air makes a big difference to grip. Obviously cold tires as well and heavy fuel compared to qualifying, but it did feel different. Whew. Terrifying. Being brand new to these cars, that was close as well. Being brand new to these cars, my rate of improvement should be pretty good. If I can keep with these quicker drivers at the front, I'm going to learn a lot. And hopefully we can improve at a faster rate than some of the others. Try and learn something through these slow corners by following good drivers. I would love to see Max actually racing in, doing proper GT3 races, and I think he will. I don't know if he'll, in his contract, I don't know if he's allowed at the moment to do more racing outside of F1, because we've seen it in the past where F1 drivers, go and drive another series and get injured, and then obviously it's the F1 team that loses out with obviously Kubica and the likes, so that's why you don't see it too often. But, I mean, I would love to see Max giving it a good go in a GT3, and I'm sure in the future he will. It's just how far into the future. Right, come on then, Marcel. I'm getting comfortable now, so that's good. I'm not gonna do anything stupid, but let's just evaluate where we're at. I think he is done with the season, fine cost. Well, he knows he's not going to win the championship. I know people seem to think he's got a chance just because he's close, but the car's not good enough for him to be consistently scoring the big points. He has to have a perfect weekend to win a race that he shouldn't win. Whereas McLaren, if things go to plan, they're winning most times out. So Max is definitely, for me, it was over a long time ago, unless Red Bull fix their car and find something. So for me, he has kind of checked out from the season, especially after Austria, but I think before Austria as well. I think after Spain. Oh my goodness, that's close as well. Ooh, lock up.
Car on your left. Clear. Car right. Still there, hold your line.
Leave a little bit of room.
Stay on the left.
I remember to use overtake. Are you proud of me, guys?
Keep to the left.
Let's leave. Again, I could have probably closed the door there, but
Still there.
we're going to be extra cautious just to not take
Clear
out
on
someone.
the right.
We've got the move done. Overtake's still on, and we'll turn it off now. Great fight with Marcel there. Oh, he's going to come back at me, is he?
Car right.
Oh, he backed
Clear.
out, but he scared me. I actually didn't commit to the corner because I was thinking he might go down the inside, and that's brought Lishan into the battle as well. So let's get the head down. See if I can run away now. I've not got dirty air. Right, full push. Can I get away from these two? Let Lishan have a go at Marcel and see if I can try and close in on the gap on Marco. 2.4 seconds at the moment. I'm P4, sorry. Trust the car, because I've got all this clean air now to work with. Lots and lots of downforce. But we're on lap 4 out of 22.
Just set the fastest lap. 36.699. New fastest lap for you. You're in 4th position.
do something different with the gearing through there. It actually helped me a lot, so I'll bear that in mind for next time. I wouldn't be that surprised if Max leaves and goes and does something, you know, a bit earlier than you might expect. Because the thing about Max is, I don't think he actually likes a lot of what F1 is these days. And I mean, I have my opinions on Max and his driving sometimes. I think he absolutely oversteps, and he's just got a really, really bad ability to lose his temper and do dangerous and stupid stuff. But fundamentally, Max is just a guy who absolutely loves racing. That's terrible. That's going to lose me a bit of momentum through there. So fundamentally, I wouldn't be that surprised if he bows out of F1 earlier than he could, and just goes and, you know, enjoys himself racing in something where it's maybe a little bit less about the show and the politics, and all of motorsport's about politics, don't get me wrong, but there's different levels to that. Oh, Marcel's coming back. I didn't break the slipstream, unfortunately. I made a few mistakes there talking about Max. So let's try and dial in again. Oh, you can see the car trying to snap away from me. Obviously, we could have rain in this race, and that'll be totally new experience for me during an actual racing situation in iRacing. Yeah, Rosberg didn't last long himself, did he? And he could have stayed longer, but he just had no reason. I mean, he won the championship. He did what he set out to do. He knew that for him to win consistently, it's going to be incredibly tough because he's always up against one of the best of all time in his prime. And Rosberg was good enough, of course, you have to be, but he decided, you know what, let's go and enjoy life, and, you know, fair play to him. Nice one. Marcel's sticking with me, so he's dropped Lishan. Lishan's been passed by Alex, but Marcel definitely, as I suspected from qualifying, you know, similar sort of pace, and I'm not gapping him now. Still around half a second, so he should get a slipstream from me. I'm slightly falling behind Marco, but there's a battle for P1 still, so you never know. Things could still happen. At the moment, it's more of a battle for 4th and 5th than it is for 3rd and 4th, let's put it that way. But let's just see if everyone survives. And also, I don't know if Marcel's been on overtake. He might have been on overtake to catch up, who knows.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 36.474.
Okay,
that was the fastest lap of the session.
I'm 1 second off the leader's pace. I'll take that. No, it's too late. No, it's too late in the brakes. I messed up big time, but I think Marcel made a mistake too. Just seeing if we've got any sort of weather info. Looking okay. Gap back up to 7/10. I might use some overtake on the next lap to try and put Marco under a little bit of mental pressure. Or I don't know if I should just save it all for battles, but then I'm going to end up with more than I need.
The leader just did a 36.647.
Almost better saving it a little bit because I've got so many laps to go.
Car 2 is now leading.
And there you go, change of lead. Now they're going to do faster lap times now that they've got clean air probably. Or they're stopped battling maybe for a second. Yeah, it's just my line into there. That's why I'm going too deep. I need to sort my line out. Ugh. So hard to get the power down smoothly. I'm saving it for when I get a bit closer with Marcel. That's when I'll really use the push to pass. We've got Alex on us as well, though. I can see Marcel using track limits there. 2/10 behind. Let's get a little bit of defensive overtake on just to be safe. Oh wow, he's got so much pace in a straight here.
Car on your left. Keep to the right.
Oh, he's gone around the outside.
Clear.
Wow. Wow. Round of applause. I'm not going to get too excited because I need to concentrate, but what a move. That's, what's that, third time I've been, or at least second time I've been done around the outside by Marcel in this race. And again, I'm just being tentative not to run wide, and he's just got the confidence in the outside line to go for it, and that's what I don't have yet with these cars. But excellent, excellent racing. But let's just try and now put the pressure back on.
Left side. Clear.
Obviously slipstream effective.
Right side. Still there. Stay on the left.
Ooh.
Clear.
I should have done a cutback. I was trying to go all the way around the outside, but he kept running wider and wider. This is what I signed up for. This is what we
Left
wanted.
side. Still there, hold your line. Clear on the left.
I don't want my race to end in a barrier though, so. Got Alex 4/10 behind. I probably could have pushed a bit harder into Magus Beckett. I would have had the inside, but again, it was like, I didn't want a 40% chance of a crash. I wanted, you know, to live to fight for another day and enjoy the battle. It seems like Marcel makes a few more mistakes when he's out in front. I might be wrong, but I tend to keep the pressure on when he's ahead, and then he's faster when he's behind. It's like, I think we're very similarly paced here, unless he's holding something back. I feel like it's quite close. Try not to lock up that front. He is strong. Through goes Marcel. Again. And through goes Marcel! Oh. See, I'm not David Croft. I can't quite pull it off. Cheers, Tom. Yeah, it's been a huge improvement. See, this is why you subscribe. It's the process, right? If we're talking about progression, I think I'm doing 4 laps better this race than I was in the last race. So next race I'll be winning by 4 laps. It's been a fantastic rate of progression. We're actually doing all right here. We're P5 in the top split, in a good battle for P4, and also 6 is right on us. But 3 cars scrap for P4. Pace has been much better. Not in that last lap, because we're battling. And no big mistakes yet, but I'm making it easy. I'm actually missing my braking points in dirty air here, so I need to adjust the driving. Oh no! I might need to use overtake here because I'm 1 second behind again. We'll make sure we have it on out down the Wellington straight, because at the moment I'm more vulnerable to the car behind and I don't want to lose Marcel. Keep the pressure on. I'm still not confident with using the rear of the car to get out of that corner, and I definitely could be. If I have more confidence, I'd be alright. Right, back to half a second. All good. Oh, John, what are you doing? Just taking off track. It's fine.
Go left.
Someone's off. Couldn't look at who it was. Too busy. Back marker. I think I see a blue name. Yeah, it's a blue name. For a second, I thought, ooh, I wonder if that's one of the leaders, but no. Just a back marker. Tom, what's my rating? I think it's like just below 2,200 now after that last race. For the single-seaters. Strength of field is just under 3,000.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 36.305.
When I'm thing is, like, in the past, I know that if I was to really sink time into iRacing specifically, I know
Just set your fastest lap of the
I've
session.
got the pace of like a higher I rating than I actually am right now, because I've raced in, you know, when I was really focusing on the IndyCar for a week basically, and you know, doing a bit of practice and doing some more races, I wasn't far away from the top. But it's like, for me, jumping in for the first time, you know, anything new, I'm always struggling. It takes me time to get up to speed. So if I committed to it, I reckon a road to 3,000 would be great. But as it stands right now, when I just jump in for the odd race, it's kind of perfect. And at least with races like this, I'm in the top split anyway. I think it's a high enough I rating to be in a really good competitive split in whatever race you're in, which is good. Need to get better into cops, but that was a little bit better. Close the gap again on Marcel. Oh, dirty air. I'm going to use overtake because we've got 3/10 only to Alex. Oh, it's so difficult judging how late to brake, not run wide, defend a position, and in the battles,
Car in P2 just set the fastest lap.
as you've seen with battles in this race,
36.166.
when you start scrapping with people, with the downforce, if you have the grip around the outside and you've got confidence, you can really like take advantage in a battle. Whereas for me, I've not done enough recently single-seater racing, wheel-to-wheel, to really have that confidence to trust that I'm not going to understeer into someone if I'm on the inside. So naturally, I defend the inside line because that's always what I do. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm going to make sure I don't make a mistake here by going a bit slower. And then immediately, if you're on the outside, obviously, you just absolutely trust the car. And then you're through. So there's some work to be done on the confidence. But it's not easy. I've done a bit of oval, yeah. I used to actually, when I played more iRacing more regularly back in the day, I actually did a lot of like league racing on ovals. My I rating's terrible on ovals because most of it was when I was 12 years old. I'm probably still that bad today, but my I rating's not very good. But I do enjoy oval racing every so often, and as I say, I did a lot of races when I was younger, just not so many in recent years. We're still 5 seconds off the podium, so it's not a million miles. Oh, Marcel. That's not a perfect line. I've got no overtake, unfortunately. Another off track, up to 5, but it's fine, I don't care. Yeah, turn right to go left. 100%. Ugh.
We expect light rain
Oh, no.
soon. The car in P1 just set the fastest lap.
If it rains, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just going to follow the cars around me in. But obviously with no experience, it's going to be a baptism of fire if it rains.
10 to go this time.
Kind
by.
of scary, but I'm up for it. Look how dark it is. It looks like everyone struggles through the slow corners, even though I'm the worst. It's like I'm not losing huge amounts. So it's not just me. Now, if it rains, we need to take wet tyres. don't know how to... I should be able to change that, but I don't know how right now. Give me a second. Oh, I've got more off tracks. Need to sort myself out there. So many things to juggle here at one moment. Okay, it won't let me change from dry at the moment. Interesting. Pretty sure I've got the right buttons. I'm just not... It's not letting me. P7 not a million miles behind either, so there could be 4 of us in a battle soon. No. Pushing the limits in dirty air. Pace is still good though, 37.5 on that last lap. Wonder if the tyres begin to start feeling it slightly at this point. Hard to know. I'm seeing Alex in the mirror. Be careful. It's too far behind though. Grip still feels good.
Just set your fastest lap.
37.2. I think that's rain now. I think the rain's on. But hot slicks are absolutely fine. When it starts spitting, it's when it rains for more than a prolonged period of time, then it makes a difference. So if we assume, oh dear, if we use real life knowledge, let's see if that works. It's going to be right at the end of this race. It's going to be wet, so it's going to be interesting to see if anyone comes in for tyres. Will it let me change tyres yet? Or is it still saying dry? Still seems to be dry only. Not letting me get to that drop-down menu. And I think I am pressing the right buttons. But maybe when it starts raining that'll change, or something's gone wrong with the assignments. We've got 2 and a bit minutes of overtake left still, so that's good. Yeah, I'll not do another Sochi, or maybe I should. Go for glory, just in case. Do what everyone else doesn't do, or just stay out because I have no choice.
We expect rain soon.
No, don't
Let
rain.
us know if you want rain tyres.
Okay. Oh, that was a big one. He's now saying let us know if you want rain tyres, so maybe now I'll be allowed to choose them. But let's wait till straight. I think we're all so closely matched on pace here. I've gone the wrong way again. No, still not letting me. Oh, there we go. Wet tires. Okay. Yeah, it just needed. So it needs to be in the air before it lets you change them. Only 4 seconds off P3. Interesting. And we're all doing low 37s, so fuel's coming down. Pace is decent, I think, from all of us. I'm not driving perfectly, but I'm driving all right. Good enough. I know that if I can start hooking up laps, though, I should be able to catch a little bit. And now we've got 7/10 to Alex. Oh, yeah, good point, John. That's a really good shout. I don't think it would work because I've got my gloves on and I have a trackpad within range. So with the glove, I think I'd probably have to take my glove off, but I got it sorted, so much appreciated. Good advice. Welcome to the stream as well. Hope you're good. No! Fine. Oh. That was, yeah, sketchy. And we've lost a lot of time, but we're alive. And the tyres are going to be hot, so I've got to be very careful now. Oof, that was so close to losing it. And John, it wasn't your fault. It's because I said we were driving quite well. Alright, Alex is pretty close. Don't think he's going to go for it here, though. Let's just cover the middle of the road. Stop a surprise move. Let's get some overtake on just to get us a little bit of breathing space again. We've got enough of it. And then hopefully we'll just leave it on for the last few laps if it comes to it. Yeah, P3. Marco's not that far away. We've kind of managed that gap a little bit. Now that we've all found more pace, we're coming back to him slightly, I think. And I've got less dirty air now, so I can push, and I've got a lighter car as well with the fuel. And I think the tyres are in pretty good nick. So we've got a top 5 on the cards here, potentially, if I can keep it together.
The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 35.936.
Everyone's got a wider line through that penultimate corner than me. They use more of the outside of the road.
You've got
And
5 laps to go.
the fastest
You've got
drivers
about
were
5
doing it.
laps of fuel.
And also
we are where we expected to be.
the driver in front of me was doing it. Alex is very close, and I've got no overtake. And that's the thing, you should save it. I'm using it in little bursts every now and then just to get away. But actually what it means is if someone makes a mistake or you end up in a battle, you can't activate it because there's a cooldown period of like 120 seconds. So I've got to be careful of that going on to the last few laps of the race. I've either got to leave it on for the whole end of the race. If I take it off, again, I've got to wait another lap or lap and a bit to get it back on. So I've got to be careful here. We've got 4 laps to go still. Don't know if I use it just to get away from this pressure while it's still dry. And I've got clean air, so I can maybe use it to my advantage, you know? Maybe we do a lap on it, or half a lap on it next.
The leader just did a 36.258. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 35.926.
I'm going to use it on this next lap a little bit. Clearly the fuel rate burn is more than the tyre wear because everyone's setting their fastest laps or they're using overtake. Right, let's try it.
New fastest lap for you.
1:37.0. We'll leave ourselves a minute and a half of it for at least the end of the last lap, I should say. And then we can just let it happen on the last lap. There we go. That's probably not a good tactic, but it stops me thinking about it. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. I had more than half a lap. I had more than a lap left there, didn't I? I had nearly 2 minutes left. So, need to remember to get that on early. Giving ourselves a little bit of breathing room though. So I think it's worked. Marco 3.2 up the road. So Marcel is putting Marco under a lot of pressure now. That could really help me. As long as the rain stays away now. I mean, it doesn't even need to, but just for the sake of, if it stays dry, I think we're looking good for P5, but maybe even a cheeky battle between P3 and P4 could happen, where if it rains, it's like anyone's game, really, but I could win or lose. And I'm more likely to lose with the lack of experience.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
36.7, there we go. Pace is coming down still. Overtake gave us a little bit of a boost in the first half of the lap. That was by far and away the best we've done that, although I got a bit of oversteer just as I hit the apex. But I trusted the car more, and I just let it slide, and it was fine. Still got half a second to Alex, he's gone nowhere. No, that's too wide. Oh, that's going to hurt a little bit. Bad exit.
You've got 2 laps to go.
Can't use overtake, saving it for the last lap.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 35.918.
Oh, no, 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 no. Stalled.
You cut the course, you've got to slow down and give up that time.
That's totally on me. Oh, what a shame.
You have about 2 laps of fuel left. Car right. Clear on the right. You cut the course, you've got to slow down and give up that time.
Stay out of the way of that car when I was rejoining.
On you. The gap is 1.7.
Right, concentrate now. What a shame. That's totally on me. I was getting right into the battle. I hit that curb, and you could see how quickly it went wrong for me. Just one bit of oversteer before it. Adjusted my line and thought I was okay. Now the tyres are too hot. Come on. No, that's another position going to be gone here.
Car on your left.
Ah.
Stay on the right. Clear on the left.
What a shame. Totally my fault. Right, if I can get this car back in shape now, find my rhythm, I can try and get that position back in the last lap with overtake on, but tyres are hot. Look at that. I've got no grip anymore. Oh dear. Sorry, Arnav, you donated, you joined the channel, and I've let you down. I've let you down. All part of the process, though, right? Let's see if we can get an overtake done anyway. Just gonna go overtake. We're gonna have to leave this on for the rest of the race now, but hopefully we can get the move done with it and then use it to drive away.
Car right. Stay on the left. Still there.
I'll take that if I can get that sealed off.
Clear on the right. White flag this time. Left side. Still there. Hold your line.
Couldn't get it sealed off. I was
about 1 lap of
oversteering all the way through there. I've got the pace though, so if I can just manage this with overtake, and I won't have it right at the end of the lap, but I'll have it everywhere else. I went in a bit too deep, I think, on the inside, and then I just had no traction getting going again, and I just didn't want to not leave space for Lishan, who's got good qualifying pace, so we know they're fast. Right, can the overtake get us through before cops?
Left side. Clear. Car on your left.
I was brave.
Still there. The car in P2 just set the fastest lap. 35.739.
Right,
Clear.
this is it. Good exit. That's what we wanted. And we'll get it done now into Stowe.
Right side.
Perfect. Now,
Keep
as
to
long
the
as they don't
left.
have overtake, yeah, we're good. All the way through.
Clear.
Shut the door. Boom. Right. Nice move. A bit risky going down the inside into cops. We all know what can happen there. But I just felt good about the chances. I wasn't going to go all the way in and run wide. I was controlled. And then couldn't quite get it into Maggots Beckett's, but I knew I had the speed on the exit, so... Oh, and we ran out of fuel over the line. Excellent. Whoa.
Checker flag, checker flag.
What? You know what? I really, really enjoyed that. I think we finished
Good job.
8th in the end.
Very good job.
And look, Marco, you can see the bottom right there. Marco was only half a second ahead of Marcel by the end of it. And Javier got Alex as well for P5, which is interesting. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Let's take a little look at some of the highlights, shall we say, or the lowlights. Love the sound of iRacing. Hopefully Marcel goes and watches that race, because he did send a message. Someone had binned it. Look at the... Hang on. Sorry. Did someone... Unfortunately, someone looped it. Off the start line. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I need to watch it. Oh, no. That must be the shortest race ever. That is tragic. Anyway, I feel really sorry for Zian. Okay, so yeah, I was being a bit safe on the first corner. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Alex getting stuck makes a lot of sense. Right, so there's Marcel. So we held it around the outside, which I was pretty happy with. Managed to get 4th secured, get the car turned, watch for the oversteer on the cold tires. And then I think Marcel goes on the outside here. And just does me because I'm being a bit tentative. Yeah, braking cold tires earlier than 50. Look at Marcel all the way around the outside. Knows he'll have track position and keeps it easily within the white lines. So absolutely fair play. Great move. And then I try just getting the power down whenever, but obviously that's over. So we'll go forward a little bit. So this is me in P5. We obviously got back past Marcel before he then got back past me again. So we'll fast forward to that, change of position. So Marcel was kind of struggling a little bit when I was behind him. I was kind of all over him. I backed out of a few attempts as well. Got very close here. So I think it's this lap where we went side by side, wasn't it? Yeah, here it is. So here we go. Cheers, those. I definitely should have bound something to clear the visor. I saw the option for tear-offs, and I thought, nah, I'll not need that. So yeah, Marcel went straight in. Lock up. Obviously leaves then me enough space, but then we're going to go side by side. So I'll try the up and under here, get the power down nice and early, and manage to get alongside, and there's nothing Marcel can do at this point. I've obviously left enough room on the outside, which has just left Marcel in the window. I could have closed him off there almost, or squeezed him, but I didn't want to. Then he goes again round the outside. So late on the brakes. I thought I was doing pretty well here. And to be fair, see, Marcel's just got a slight overlap. So I left the room. Could have been a bit tighter, but again, long race, wanted to survive. We're only on lap 3 at this point. Then I've gone round the outside and kind of held position there and just focused on my exit, knowing I'd be clear. So that's how we got P4. Oh yeah, and this was it. Marcel has a little bit of a look into cops very late, and to his credit then backs out, but it's enough for me to be scared into staying wide. Totally allowed to do that. And yeah, as you can see, I've left the room just in case, but no avail on that occasion. And then Marcel absolutely does me on the outside of Stowe a few laps later. I know we did at some point go side by side into Maggots Beckett's, but I think that was a bit later on. Was this where he did me at Stowe? No. Okay, I actually held 4th for a few laps. Getting dizzy watching this. Apologies. Getting closer. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. This is great from Marcel. So we go pretty close into Maggots and Beckett's. Let's just jump on the roll bar. Overtake on. Yeah, you can see he's got overtake on, so that made a difference. Obviously, I wasn't aware that he was using overtake until he pulled alongside me. So made the most of it. He went inside, outside, and then did me on the outside. Brilliant. I was too tentative, leaving too much room out of a bit of extra safety margin that I didn't need to leave, let's be honest. And just sticking it to the inside. So you can see me, I'm braking on the inside, a compromised entrance, on the curb, leaving room, but he's already gone at this point. I mean, I could have been nailing it towards the outside, but yeah, completely done me there. And then kept the pressure on. We had a bit more side-by-side. Oh yeah, this was another one. Down the inside. And then this was one where I kept turning, yeah, I kept seeing his wheel there, so I kept turning out of it. But he was absolutely fine. And then I did a little bit of a defensive maneuver into Cops. This is where we went side by side to Maggots and Beckett's, and I decided to back out, even though I probably could have kept my foot in and he would have had to back out for the second part. Yeah, again, these are the things. Just didn't need to do it, but we survived. And that was pretty much it. And I think I was in 5th. Until the spin, so we'll skip to the spin. Here it is. Oh. This is just silly. So, rear comes round, and then that's it. I over-committed. So my rear came around there. I just tried to tighten off the line too much, didn't I? So my steering wheel inputs, I'm correcting to the right, correcting the slide, and then suddenly it grips up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I need to maximize this, get close to the curb. And I've turned out of it there, and just not enough. So it's just a misjudgment. Quite a bad one, to be fair. Bouncing over the curb, and I think, yeah, Alex maybe had to lift. Yeah, Alex was right behind me. Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. Pretty scary for Alex. Yeah, just a momentary lift and had to go to the inside. And that was enough for Javier, with overtake on as well, to put the pressure on, and then obviously that eventually leads to an overtake down the inside. Ah, well. And then obviously my little last lap battle with Zihan. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to do the 2 races today. But they were great races. The first one, well, I say they were great races. Let's be honest, the first one was a disaster. But I still enjoyed the hot lapping. The second one I felt prepared for. Car felt great. I should have got a top 5. But ultimately, I made the mistake. And that's the second stream in a row now where I've spun out of position myself. So it's going well. But we still finished 8th. Cheers, Arnav. It's been great having you on the stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we see you again. Let's just say SF Race 2. Hopefully you can join us for another one in future. And again, massive appreciation for the donations and the membership, and same as well to Fine Cost. Let's have a look at the results to see if I gained or lost things. Probably lost. I lost 0.2 safety rating, so I actually need to be careful. I'm going to drop below 4, which is a bit of a shame. And then my iRating's gone up by 28 because it was a strong strength of field. But you can see their best lap time. Basically, Marcel, I don't know if you can actually see that. Hopefully you can see that clear enough. Marco in 3rd, Marcel 4th, Javier 5th, Alex 6th, and then me. We're all 36.7, 36.8, 36.6, 36.6, 36.7. So I had the pace for to battle P3 there once I got up to speed. I think we all had very similar pace. So what a great progression from that first race in the fixed setups to the open setup race where I actually felt pretty strong. 2,800 strength of field as well. So really, really happy with that. Happy with the performance. The guys we were racing with were, so Javier's 3,500 iRating, Marco's 3,000, Marcel's only 2,000. So me and Marcel were both racing with the similar iRatings, but the top 2 were 5,700. So that's 1 second a lap quicker for the drivers that are 5,700 iRating. That shows you the quality and how good everyone is at the very highest level. And then even Fabian, who finished ahead of me, 4,700 iRating, so very high iRating, but fastest lap was only a 37.1, so we were only 4 tenths quicker. So the pace is good. Lishan is 2,900. So yeah, we can get our iRating a bit higher in the future, for sure. And that might be something we do later on. Maybe we do a quest for 3,000 when we do some iRacing races more regularly. I'll obviously be back on LMU doing more of those, and we'll be playing lots of other games, AMS2, Race Room, you name it, we'll consider playing it for a stream at some point when it's appropriate, and we'll maybe try and do a few more longer running series like LMU, spread out a little bit, but give us something to chase, some sort of goal to try and achieve. And yeah, it's a nice way to spend the end of the week. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to the channel if you want to see future streams when they happen, and of course our future video content as well. We've got a cool video coming out next week relating to hypercars and how they function in sim racing. But I won't be streaming next week. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll see you then for that. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, have a great weekend, and I'll see you later.